What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel and to this review or overview of Verberate 2 from Acon Digital. And in my previous video, I talked about Verberate, which was the previous incarnation of this fantastic reverb plugin. Today I want to use the same approach, just apply it to some vocals that I did a while back with Electric Tuxedo for a song called Better Than Advertised, and see what it does to just a clean dead vocal. And if you like the one before, Verberate 2 is just on a different level. If that was the most underrated reverb plugin on the market for vocals, this is just, I don't even know how to describe it. It has so many cool and unique features that just make adding it to a vocal just a complete pleasure, and the sound you get is incredible, and the ease with which you can manipulate the tails, the early reflections, everything is just all in a single package. The decay editor and the output EQ are also much better optimized, and also it's much easier to dial in the settings you're looking out for. So on top of this, of course, you have the dry level, the reverb level, and the early reflections levels, which are quite cool, and they were part of the first one. And which something that was also part of the first one, but it was an oversight on my end. You also have this log button, and you also get these interactive windows popping up. And if you don't want to change the level of the reverb, and you just know that at around -20 your reverbs tend to sound good on vocals, which is the case here, it just locks it, and you don't have to constantly tweak this the way I did it in the previous video. You also get all of this new stuff with the Vivid Hall, the new algorithm, and quite a few of early reflections algorithms, and all of these are just fantastic. Obviously the older ones have been tweaked, but you also have these 4 new ones in this version of the plugin, and obviously you have the reverb time, the room size, the pre-delay, which were part of the previous version of it, and the stereo spread, which now can go up to 150, which is pretty cool. You also get these 3 new kind of modulation in a way, and also kind of an extension of the reverb and room size as well. So you get this dispersion knob, which is basically the frequency dispersion of the effect of real played reverbs, and you can tweak this in any of the other ones as well, but it does make a huge impact on the plates, which we have here. The swirl, which is basically just tinkering with the tail of it. You can either have it more smooth or more modulated, depending on what kind of sound you want to get out of it. If you want a clean reverb or a more a crazier one. And also the bloom, which is quite cool, and it's the time it takes to build up of the reverb, and it's also quite cool because it's linked to the room size as well. It's percentage of that, and then jumping to the right hand side of the plugin, you have these new EQ options here. You have the obviously the low and high cut, and you also have the all of these shelves here, which are pretty cool, and the bell in the middle. And the same options are available in the output EQ, which is quite cool. Obviously, the Q goes from like 3 dBs to super surgical 48 dBs per octave, which is quite useful. And you'll see all of this stuff being affected when we change the presets. And speaking of which, while I focused a lot on the plates and the spaces presets in the previous video, I did play around with all of them, and I really loved the plates. These, I don't know what they did to them, but they're amazing. They're much better than the previous versions, which already sounded good. But these are just fantastic. And the halls, again, I'm gonna go through them, and you'll see how cool they sound on a vocal. Even though most of them will have kind of a build up in the low end, but it still sounds good, and you can always cut it. It just makes it sound like they're in an actual room and they put the vocals in a space. I'm gonna play the song again just without any reverb on. I'm just gonna select this plate for now, and just play the song on its own with a completely dry vocal. Looking back at how we both got here, just sounds a bit wrong. And I'm just gonna start going through the plates, and you'll see what an impact this plugin has. Looking back at how we both got here, I love those stories that you love to hear. Remember when we started, all you do is test me, but no amount of weight you put was too heavy. Tell me whose story should I tell again? Do you remember that time in the park? All our emotions reduced to a kiss in the dark. Remember when we started, all you do is test me, but no amount of weight you put was too heavy. Tell me whose story should I tell again? Do you remember that time in the park? All our emotions reduced to a kiss in the dark. Sure about what we were wishing. We know how things turned out. I hope you could hear how much better the vocals sound with, to be honest, any one of these presets. They all help the vocals find its place in the mix, and it's literally, I didn't tweak anything. You could play around with all of those parameters that I discussed previously, and you can tweak it to your heart's desire. Everything here is customizable, and the fact that you also have control of the early reflections is a huge game changer, and not that many plugins offer something similar to this. So those were the plates. I love each and every one of them. But let's also go through the halls, because I really enjoyed this selection of hall presets. The algorithms here are just amazing. So let's have a listen to... Actually, let's take this to the bridge. Holding my hand, kissing my lips, trying to forget about all the scripts you had written for a case like this. Keeping your cool, biding your time. Oh, from the moment I knew you were mine. How much has changed since then? My hand, kissing my lips, trying to forget about all the scripts you had written for a case like this. Keeping your cool, biding your time. Oh, from the moment I knew you were mine. How much has changed since then? My lips,
trying to forget about all the scripts you had written for a case like this. Keeping your cool, biding your time. Oh, from the moment I knew you were mine. How much has changed since then? The more that I feel, the more that I want, the more that I think, the more that you want me back. The more that I feel, the more that I want, the more that I think, the more that I feel, the more that I want, the more that I think, the more that you want. The more that I feel, the more that I want, the more that I think, the more that I feel, the more that I want, the more that I think, the more that you want me back. The more that I feel, the more that I want, the more that I think, the more that you want me, baby. The more that I feel, the more that I want, the more that I think, the more that you want me, baby. The more that I feel, the more that I want, the more that I think, the more that you want me, baby. The more that I feel, the more that I want, the more that I think, the more that you want me, baby. The more that I feel, the more that I want, the more that I think, the more that you want me. The more that I feel, the more that I want, the more that I think, the more that you want me. The more that I feel, the more that I want, the more that I think, the more that you want me, baby.
Yeah, so yeah, they just sound amazing. I love these halls, and the thing is, I'd use them on vocals even though it says like synth hall dark. It just sounded really good to me. So I'd use this. I mean, don't imagine that if it says synth hall, you can only use it on synths. It just sounds really good, and well, yeah, you can also do this. It's really nice. I'm surprised that some plugins don't actually do this in 2020 almost. So this is a fantastic reverb, and again, it works amazingly on vocals. And I'm gonna start using this quite a lot in my projects, and it's probably gonna substitute some of the other reverbs that I've been using, just because you have so much control over the sound of your reverb. And let me know if you've used this before, if you want to start using it now, and what you think it sounds best on. At this moment, I think it is the most underrated vocal reverb, and probably one of the best sounding ones. It's surely one of the best featured ones. So let me know in the comments below, and thanks again for watching. See you next time. Thanks a lot for watching the video until the end. I really do hope you got something out of it. And if you did enjoy it, if you did get any value out of it, please let me know in the comments below. And consider subscribing to the channel, share the video, like it, all that jazz, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks.